Hola, buenos días. Feliz miércoles. Who's going to Shine? Middle school Shine is today. Is anybody going? Any of you guys? Is it 6th, 7th, and 8th? Is that how they do it? Yeah. So high school's the next week, right? Yeah. Who's planning on going to Shine then? Nobody? Nobody's planning on going to Shine? Hola, Nikki. Hola, Akari, Charlie, Haley. ¿Cómo estamos hoy? How are we today? Feliz miércoles. Are you guys planning on going to Shine next week for high schoolers? Today for middle schoolers? No, none of y'all are going? Planning on going? Well, they have food, they have games, they give away awards. They're even giving a Beable award. Good morning, Heaven. Okay, you guys up here behind me. Ooh, I have the sun in my face, so I apologize. ¿Dónde está la computadora? So remember that we're working on a star, and one of the reasons we use a star instead of the other one is when we're talking about location, right? So remember those words enfrente, like in front or across from, debajo, right below, al lado, next to, entre, in between. So clase, do we remember dónde está la computadora? How do we say on top? Do you remember this word? On top or on. If you don't remember, you can get into Canvas, and they're in there in your resource library with a little conejo, with a little rabbit. Remember, you guys, we need cameras on, por favor. Hola, Carlin, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días, Arshas. Did any of you guys have trouble connecting this morning? They had some internet outages in your area. That's what I hear. Buenos días a todos. Feliz miércoles. How are we today? Tell me how you are. ¿Estás bien? ¿Estás mal? ¿Estás cansado o cansada? ¿Estás contento o contenta? ¿Cómo estás? Tell me how you are this morning, and tell me dónde está la computadora. Where is the computer? Where is the computer? Frase, ¿dónde está la computadora? How do we say on or on top? Hola, Christopher. Elizabeth, buenos días. Melanie, James. Yeah, so remember that, Elizabeth, we would use está, right? That's what we're practicing because we use that one for location, right? Instead of S. So remember, you guys, we use S for like things like I'm a student, I'm tall, I'm short, right? I'm a redhead or something like that, right? And we use a star for location and temporary things. If we're sick, how our emotions are. There you go, Elizabeth. Muy bien. Anyone else this morning? Because we need to get started. Who's going to Shine today, or who's planning on going to Shine next week? No? Okay. So, you know, you guys, I would like to have some good mornings from you. That would be kind of the polite thing. If somebody says good morning, you kind of say good morning back, just as though if we were in person, right? It's really no different. How do we say on top? If we get into our canvas, we have to try to remember these things. If we get into our canvas, you should see a visual about our location words, right? And today, what we're going to do is kind of spend a little bit more time on this verb estar. And when do we use estar and when do we use ser? Okay, so remember, ser was soy, eres, es, somos, and son, that we use for everything, generally speaking, except for when we use estar. One of the ways we use estar is location. Very good, Heaven. So on top would be encima. We can say encima, on top. Okay. So la computadora está encima de la mesa. We could say that. Okay. Encima. So location, we use estar. Okay. Also, in case you weren't here the other day, we installed a Spanish keyboard because we do have to have accent marks here. Otherwise, it means something else. Okay, so if you didn't get that link, it is posted in the resource library, or the instructions are posted in the resource library for a Spanish keyboard. Another way that we use estar, you guys, is temporary, things that are temporary, right? So I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm sick, I'm well, I'm bad, I'm excited, I'm confused, I'm afraid. Okay. Right. Another way that we use estar. So things that are temporary, right? Versus ser. So that's what we're going to look into today. Before we get started, I have just a little video to remind us of some things. And then I have a little short film to help us figure out the difference between ser and the difference between estar in terms of how we use them. It's also in your guided notes, right? It's also in your resource library. It's like everywhere, right? It's everywhere. So we just need to take advantage of it. And then I want to use the rest of the time today to let you guys practice. You will stay in class, of course. We'll go through the instructions. And then that way I can help you through it, okay? And get it turned in before we leave today. That would be great, okay? Again, another reminder, you guys, we need to use our Spanish keyboard or some way to use accent marks in our verb, estar, because when we type things into the computer, it will think it's wrong. Yeah, if we don't. So we do have to have our accent marks here, okay? So one more time, you guys, behind me, here's when we use ser, right? Like where we come from, soy de Georgia. Remember we practiced all that? Relationships, when we did family, es mi hermano, it's my brother, right? Those things are permanent, okay? Versus estar, position, location, certain actions, our condition, are we sick, are we healthy, are we whatever, and our emotions, things that change, that are likely to change. Okay, so that's our focus for today. All right, I'm going to put this video in first. Make sure that you all can hear everything. And then we'll get into our little short story, or little movie. And you're going to need to answer some questions with our movie. So, all right. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. If you can see my screen, etc., etc. Carlin's ready. Christopher, Charlie's ready. Okay, thank you, Melanie. Gracias. Nikki, you ready? James, Stacy, yeah. Haley, you with us? Thumbs up. Arshus, you with us? Give me a thumbs up. All right, muy bien. All right, here we go.
Ay, lo siento. Estoy un poco cansada. Warm, sunny days always make me sleepy. Well, that and I was up past midnight grading papers. Again. But this is the perfect time to talk about how to use the verb estar and an adjective to describe how you feel. Estoy un poco cansada. I'm a little tired. You use the verb estar with certain adjectives to say how you feel or to describe your physical state at the moment. Now, you've seen a few forms of the verb estar already in questions like ¿Cómo estás? And ¿Cómo está usted? Let's take a look at all the present tense forms of estar. Keep in mind that this is an irregular verb. Yo estoy. Tú estás. Usted, él, ella está. Nosotros estamos. Vosotros estáis. Ustedes, ellos, ellas están. Estar means that the way you feel is temporary or changeable. It's not a permanent trait like being tall. It's used to express emotions and conditions. Hoy no estoy triste. Miguel está muy bien. Rosario, ¿están enojadas tú y tu hermana? No, estamos contentas. Be careful. There are some feelings or sensations that you express with the verb tener. Tengo hambre. No tengo sed. Pedro tiene calor, pero Jamal tiene frío. ¿Tienes miedo? No, pero estoy aburrido.
Okay, so this verb tener, which we saw early, I don't know, end of first quarter or something like that, right? Tengo hambre, I'm hungry. No tengo sed, I'm not thirsty. Okay, so some of these, like to be hungry is temporary, hopefully, right? But we don't use estar, we use tengo here. Pedro tiene calor. Pedro feels hot, right? Pedro feels hot. But Jamal feels cold. Okay, so some of these do use tiene. Okay, now I have a question. Aburrido is masculine, right? And singular. If the person we're referring to or the person responding was a female, what would change on the word aburrido? If this person was a female, good heaven. If this person here was a female, how would aburrido change? How would that spelling change? Only heaven knows, nobody else knows. Yes, very good, Arshas. Anyone else? How would the spelling of aburrido change if the person was feminine? Dallas, can you tell us? Haley, Nikki, can you set up Nikki? Thank you, Elizabeth. Melanie, how about you? Well, the O would become an A, right? So my point is we have to remember that when we're using an adjective, when we're using a describing word, it's going to change masculine, feminine, and singular or plural. So sometimes you're going to add an S, okay?
Try not to confuse the verbs estar and ser because they are used for different types of descriptions. Even though they both mean to be, in English, they cannot be used interchangeably. Ser is used for physical characteristics and personality traits, things that don't change quickly or at all. Germán es alto y guapo. Hoy está triste. See the difference? Germán might not be sad tomorrow, but he'll still be tall and handsome. Matías y Ana son estudiosos. Hoy están nerviosos porque tienen un examen. They may not be nervous after the exam, but they will continue to be studious. Good for them. To review, if it's a mood, an emotion, or a physical state, always use estar or one of the expressions with tener. For permanent traits, use ser. Bye for now.
Okay. All right. Any questions, you guys? All right. So now let's see what of that we understand, what we're going to try and put it into practice a little bit. Okay. I'm going to ask you to either put your answers in the chat, or I may ask you to unmute, okay, and give me an answer. So let's go ahead and do this. All right. Again, if you have trouble hearing or seeing this, then please let me know. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. ¿Cómo es el hombre? ¿Cómo es el hombre? El hombre es moreno, delgado, trabajador, rubio, gordo, perezoso is lazy, pelirrojo is redheaded, right? Delgado or y joven. So what do you think is the best answer here? Now we got to remember our describing words, right? Tall, skinny, blonde, redheaded, thin, heavy, whatever. Do you think it's A, B, or C? Good, Nikki. Good, Heaven. Good, Arshus. I want to hear from everyone. James, Carlin, Christopher, Melanie, Charlie. Elizabeth, ¿qué piensas tú? ¿Cómo es el hombre? A, B, or C? Muy bien. All right, you guys are telling me A, right? Es moreno, es delgado, right? He's dark hair and he's thin. And how do we know that he's a hard worker? Well, he's got like a badge on, right? So and he's got like a restaurant apron or something. So we're gonna say that he's a hardworking trabajador. So, como es. Notice we're using the verb ser here, right? Because we're describing things about him that are not going to change in essence, okay? I like this story. Okay, ¿cómo es el hombre? ¿El hombre es aburrido o está aburrido? So we have to remember, what does aburrido mean? Is it A or B? Who can tell me, what does aburrido mean? Feel free to unmute. Man is what?
Bored.
Bored. So is that permanent or temporary? So then you make your choice, right? A or B. Very good, Stacy.
B.
B. All right, muy bien. Está. El hombre está aburrido, right? Because again, if you guys can see my background, you can kind of use it. If you can see my background, it's his emotion, right? It's his current condition. It's how he's feeling, his mood, okay? He's bored. So we would use está because it's temporary, okay? Bueno, so B is our answer. Okay, ¿cómo es el chico? What's the young man like? Es alto, delgado y joven. ¿Es bajo, gordo y viejo? ¿O es rubio, gracioso y malo? So A, B, or C. What's your choice? Arshas, muy bien. Good, Heaven. Haley, what do you say? I'd like to hear from you. James? Good, Stacy. Melanie, how about you? Dallas? Yeah, you guys are telling me A. Alto, he's tall. Delgado, thin. Joven, young. Okay, so yeah, the best answer is A. And again, because these are, he's always going to be tall, right? We're going to use ser. We're going to say es instead of está. Okay, muy bien. Ok, ¿cómo es la chica? Es baja, pelirroja y atlética, gorda, rubia y inteligente, simpática, morena y joven. So A, B, or C. What do you think? Again, we're describing how they are, right? Like their physical characteristics, what kind of person they are. So we're going to use S here, right? We're going to use ser. So A, B, or C, okay? Good, Stacy. Melanie, what do you say? A, B, or C? Nikki, did you answer this one? Christopher? Yeah, you got it. Yeah, Christopher. All right. Yeah, C. Good job, you guys. C, you guys are telling me. Nice, brown-haired, right? And young. Okay. ¿Dónde está la fuente? Right? So where is the fountain located? So again, you guys, because we're talking about location, just like we did in our where's the computer question this morning, right? Position or location, we're going to use a form of S star. So A, B, or C, what do you think? Pop your answer in. Haley, can you give me an answer in chat, please? Dallas? James, Carlin? Nikki, good job. Yeah, está en la plaza. Está en la plaza. Okay. Yeah, muy bien. All right, let's go on. Okay. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo están los chicos? Right? So, how are they feeling? What are they like? ¿Cómo están? How are they feeling? ¿Están tristes? ¿Alegres? ¿Enojados? ¿Sorprendidos? Real quick, A, B, C, or D? Okay, muy bien, you guys. Thank you, Haley. So, you guys are telling me A. And notice, you guys, because it's plural, yeah, we're adding S's here because we're talking about both of them, right? So, están tristes, they both are sad, right? They are sad. They seem pretty sad. Okay, we're going to do one more, and then in the interest of time. Okay. El hombre, I guess he's a man. ¿Cómo está? ¿Está curioso, alegre, preocupado o enfermo? A, B, C, or D. Based on his expression, ¿cómo está? Curioso, curious, alegre, preocupado o enfermo. Okay, good. Good, Stacy. Good, Haley. Anybody else? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so he sees the two kids that are sad come to the well, throw the water, throw their money in to make a wish, right? He's trying to answer because he's the wish granter. He's trying to answer, but the machine doesn't work. Machine's not working. So I don't know, does that change your answer? A, B, C, or D? Yeah, let's watch it again real quick. Uh-oh. Machine's not working. So is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, you guys are telling me curious, está curioso. You guys are telling me A, most of you. So let's see what happens. Está preocupado. Sí, Elizabeth, right. So he's worried, preoccupied. He's worried. He's kind of starting to freak out. Oh, you know, why isn't my thing working, right? Why isn't my wish granting machine working? Okay. All right, we're going to stop it there, just like I said, because we're not going to have time to finish. We'll finish it tomorrow. We'll do it as a warm up. Okay. And for now, what I'm going to do is I want to go through all the instructions for all the things that I would like for us to practice with. And then I will kind of turn you guys loose. Okay, so for now, just listen to my instructions. I'm going to pull some things up on the screen. Waiting on my computer. Did you guys have internet problems today? No, I know some schools in the district had some issues this morning. Okay. All right. So take a look at my screen, please. And give me a thumbs up if you're ready to listen to the instructions so y'all know what you're doing. So I can turn you loose. Okay. All right. Well, I put in a presentación. Remember those when you read them, it gives you 1 point, because remember, we go through this whole unit, you can get up to 5 points or more, right? Which is always a good, easy way to kind of pad our grade a little bit. Our next one is estados y emociones. Just watch my instructions for now, you guys, and then you can head on over that way. Describe and ask about how people are feeling. Write the correct form of the verb estar. So you're going to go through each one of these. Fill in the correct form of the verb. Remember to, when you click in the box, it should give you a choice, and you need to make sure you have the accent mark. Otherwise, it will be wrong. Okay. Loading. Okay. This one is a listening, right? And our listening skill. Soccer can be very emotional. Listen to the statements and choose which photo is being described. So let me show you how this is laid out, because it's kind of weird. Okay. You have these pictures and they are numbered. Everybody with me so far? They're numbered. So you listen to the sentence, to the thing.
1. El entrenador es alto.
Okay. says uno. So whatever picture they're describing, that's going to be picture number one. You decide what picture it is, and that's the one you choose. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, here's the thing. You can listen to this as many times as you want. My suggestion always is to click on playback speed and slow it down to whatever that 0.75 is. And then you can replay it as often as you need. Okay. All right. Any questions on that one? So remember, it'll give you the number. You can go back in and figure out which picture they're describing. Now, I will tell you this. Like for this picture, I think they're not saying that this is a girl. So I don't think you can rely on that. I think they're relying on the emotion in the picture. Okay, everybody with me there? Right? I don't think the sentences line up like if they're male or female in the picture. So don't let that kind of throw you off. Okay, the next one is another listening. Again, I would go in, change my playback speed. I would listen to it as many times as I need. Okay. It's going to give you a sentence based on what you hear. Okay, Melanie. Based on what you hear, you're going to choose either true or false. Okay. So we have two listening. And then that's it. Okay. So I'm going to come back up here to modules. Now I need you to go ahead and join me in Canvas. Por favor. And I gave you a couple of days of listening. I mean, a couple of extra days on those listening assignments in terms of due dates. So I do want you to take your time. Okay. So you're going to scroll down here in your Unit 1 module. Find the little whatchamajiggers here, whatever these are, stars, fireworks, I don't know, call them what you want. And remember, in our modules, we always work from the top down. So you're going to start here, get that freebie 1 point, remind you of the forms of S star. It's also in your resource library in Canvas, so you can open that up in a different tab if you wanted. Okay, so we have roughly 10 minutes. Stay in Zoom, stay in class. I'll be quiet. I'll be in Go Guardian with you. If you have a question, hit me up. That's what I'm here for, okay? All right, everybody cool with what we're doing? Yes, no, maybe? Yes? Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm talking to, I don't know. Y'all aren't answering me. The presentation is blocked. Okay, that's interesting. Go ahead and skip it. I'll try and take care of it. Is it blocked by school? Elizabeth, can you tell? Is it blocked by school? Thank you, Heaven. Okay, thank you. You can pull up a form of a star if you need it in the resource library, you guys. Remember, that's always an option. Arshas, does it open for you? It opened for you. So, interesting. Elizabeth, try again. Maybe refresh your screen or something because it opened for Arshis. I haven't taken roll. You guys, we need to stay in class. Just click on start, James. You can check out the forms of the star. You can use them to complete your assignments. And you get a free point just for clicking on it. Nikki, there at the end of unit 1. Yep, right there, under a star. Yep, right there under the practice sheet, the star practice sheet. Hola, Carolina. Carolina, can you check the chat, please? Just let me know if you have trouble finding them. Um, Christopher, let's see. Can you hit start?
I sure can, but it's blocked.
That's interesting. I wonder how come Arshis can get in, but a couple of other of you have had issues with that. That's interesting. Christopher, do me a favor, please. Go ahead and pull that page back up, and I'm gonna try to copy it and then send it on to the tech folks just to see. Okay, you guys, I think our time is up. Am I wrong? Yeah. Yeah, it's 10:43. Yes, you're just using that as a review so that you have that a star open so you can do the, and it gives you a freebie point, right? Yeah. Yep. All right, you guys, I think that's our time for today. Isn't today Wednesday? I just want to make sure because, you know, I'm getting old and senile, right? Okay, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great one. Nos vemos mañana. Okay, you guys. Adios. Reach out in inbox if you have any questions. Adios.